Greenie. Rise and shine.
What is this place?
Can you tell me your name?
I can't remember anything.
Who put us here? We don't know.
What's out there? The maze. Every morning when those doors open, the runners look for a way out. And no one has ever survived a night in the maze. What happens to them? We don't belong here. I think it's time we find out what we're really up against.
Everything started changing the moment you showed up.
It's a girl.
Thomas,
Why are we different?
what if we were sent here for a reason?
You're not like the others. You're curious. But if you want to stay here, I need to know that you're gonna follow the rules.
I'm beginning to see why so many of you are excited about this movie. And you must be super excited now with the first trailer debuting, and it looks like they're doing a very good job adapting this novel. Now, I've never read The Maze Runner, and I don't watch Teen Wolf, so I'm not familiar with the work of Dylan O'Brien. I have a list, there are a lot of names I want to reference in this trailer, so I brought up the IMDb page. But I'm not familiar, as I said, with either of the main two components that I think have been building a lot of buzz for The Maze Runner prior to this trailer debuting. Now, because a number of you have been mentioning this, and you're like, every time I talk about young adult adaptations and how overall the genre seems doomed, because just beyond Twilight and Hunger Games, they haven't really had any standout hits. And many of you, every time, are like, well, what about The Maze Runner? Don't you think The Maze Runner could succeed? And I haven't really been able to speak to that because, as I said, I haven't been familiar with the source material. But this trailer surprised me. It's surprisingly sophisticated. First, let me start out by saying when the trailer began, I was not impressed. I was like, this is a blatant ripoff of the Hunger Games, because the way they enter the arena is exactly the same. You're in like a metal elevator, and you come and you rise up via a platform into something that you would think is nature, but it's really your prison. So I was like, oh man, that's not cool. But then as soon as Will Poulter showed up, and I was like, that's the guy from We're the Millers, and he seems totally different. It was like a 180, and I became fascinated with this movie. Because not only do I think it looks like it has very good production values, which I really admire, because so often, we'll be talking about Divergent a lot this week, and how when these films start out, even Twilight and Hunger Games, they start out very rocky footing, and they need to replace their entire creative teams. They did that with Twilight, they did that with Hunger Games, and if this Divergent sequel moves ahead, which I'll be discussing later this week, that creative team has also been replaced. But I like the job that Wes Ball is doing here. He is a first-time director. He's directed some shorts. He's an artist. He's done some work with rendering and stuff. So I guess that's why the maze looks so good. But I really think that he's taking this very seriously and, making not just, oh, this is a young adult adaptation, but, this is maybe one for the ages. And I say that because this reminds me of a young adult novel from a long time ago, Lord of the Flies. This is a very disturbing movie. You might be familiar with it. You might have even seen it. It's about a bunch of British school children, an all-boys school. They get stranded. They're out at sea for some reason on an island. And they kind of create, it's like Peter Pan's The Lost Boys gone horribly wrong. And kind of the social politics, the group dynamics that you find in any school kind of get heightened to this very dangerous degree because of this. They're left to their own devices in the savagery of that. And it's very well done. It's almost like Heart of Darkness for kids. I highly recommend that you check that out. And I see shades of that here. Not only in the way, as I said, the production values are so good. I like the sophisticated way the subject matter seems to be approached, but also the acting looks very good. Now, as I said, don't watch Teen Wolf, not a Dylan O'Brien fan, but I think he comes across very well here as the lead, very likable. I like that also it's from the male perspective. All of the, with the exception of Beautiful Creatures, which didn't work out, all of these young adult adaptations have been from the female perspective. So I think to kind of switch that around in and of itself is very refreshing. So I like that aspect of it quite a bit. Will Poulter, as I said, very excited to see him in such a different type of role. You also have Thomas Brodie Sangster, who you might recall is from Game of Thrones, but also started out in Love Actually. So I think he's a very talented actor. I'm excited to see him here. Also, I'm not familiar with the entire cast, but you can see from the trailer a lot of diversity. And it doesn't seem, with tokens, it just is reflecting society. And as I say all the time on this show, I think Hollywood needs to be more diverse in the product they put out to more accurately reflect the movie-going audience. And when I see this group of boys, I see a reflection of the movie-going audience. So that's very exciting. So I just think this movie seems to be coming together very well, and as I said, of a quality that you don't usually find, in these young adult novels, adaptations. It's like Wes Ball is trying to make just a great film, not something that's going to appeal to just the specific people who bought this book. So I'm curious, Maze Runner fans, is this a good adaptation? I mean, I might be excited about it, but I was excited about World War Z. Well, World War Z, people who read the novel were very upset because it wasn't a good adaptation. So I'm wondering, does this look like a good adaptation to you? Dylan O'Brien fans, why is he so cool? Why does he have so much buzz going into this? If you watch him on Teen Wolf. And what do you guys think of the cast? Are you excited to see Will Poulter in a different kind of role? It'll be interesting, this mysterious woman who joins the group, or girl. I love that line, it's a girl! That's very Peter Pan. I think that was fun. So I think there are a lot of great elements going on here. And also, have you seen Lord of the Flies? I'd also like to hear people's thoughts on that if they have seen it, or maybe you can go check it out and come back and share your thoughts on it. All right, thank you for tuning in to my trailer review. Thank you for everybody who's been pushing this. As I said, I see where you guys are coming from now. I'm on board, and I can't wait to hear more about The Maze Runner, and we'll be discussing it, of course, when the news breaks and they show maybe more trailers. Thanks for watching, and you can check out some more episodes right now.